President Bola Tinubu appoints Professor Joash Ojo Amupitan as new chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission. 155 persons, including late Major General Mamman Vasa, granted presidential pardon and clemency. Kaduna State Police Command arrests 26 suspected kidnappers. Israel and Hamas agree to first phase of peace deal. Hello and welcome. This is Third Eye Africa Television. I am Ekenim Chukwu Ojoyenim. Here is the news. President Bola Tinubu has appointed Professor Joash Ojo Amupitan as the new chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. Bayo Onanuga, presidential spokesman, announced this in a statement on Thursday. Onanuga said the National Council of State has approved Amupitan's nomination. When confirmed by the Senate, Amupitan will replace Professor Mahmood Yakubu, who bowed out of the commission after 10 years. Correspondent Juliet Onwura reports.
The nomination of Professor Joash Ojo Amupitan as the new chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, having scaled through the National Council of State, will now be forwarded to the Senate for approval. Just like in the Council of State, no opposition is anticipated in the Senate. The Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma, who briefed State House correspondent after the Council of State meeting, said the nomination of Professor Amupitan was unanimously approved by members.
He is a highly respected scholar with impeccable credentials, and on the presentation of his name, Council unanimously approved and consented to the recommendation for his appointment. Speaker after speaker spoke glowingly of this professor as a very serious-minded scholar, a man of high integrity, and a tested and trusted hand who has never participated in any partisan politics.
President Bola Tinubu told the council that Amupitan is the first person from Kogi, North Central State, nominated to occupy the position and is apolitical. Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo of Kogi State described Amupitan as a man of integrity. Amupitan, 58, is a professor of law at the University of Jos, Plateau State. He's also an alumnus of the university. He specializes in company law, law of evidence, corporate governance, and privatization law. He became a senior advocate of Nigeria in September 2014. Currently, he serves as the Deputy Vice Chancellor Administration at the University of Jos, a position he holds in conjunction with being the Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of the Governing Council of Joseph Ayo Babalola University in Osun State. Outside of academics, Amupitan serves as the board member of Integrated Diaries Limited in VOM, a member of the Nigerian Institute of Advanced Legal Studies Governing Council, and a member of the Council of the Legal Education 2008 to 2014, among other roles. He is therefore coming with a wealth of experience to superintend INEC, saddled with the responsibility of conducting elections in Nigeria.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has granted presidential pardon and clemency to 155 persons. This includes posthumous pardons for the late Major General Mamman Vasa and nationalist Herbert Macaulay. The decision followed the endorsement of recommendations from the National Council of State, which met on Thursday in Abuja. A statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, said the President also pardoned former lawmaker Farouk Lawan and 3 others, Mrs. Anastasia Daniel Nwobia, Hussein Umar, and Ayila Sadu Alanamu, after they were found to have demonstrated remorse and readiness to reintegrate into society. Vasa, a poet and former military officer executed in 1986 after being convicted of disloyalty, received a posthumous pardon nearly 4 decades after his death. Similarly, Herbert Macaulay, one of Nigeria's foremost nationalists and co-founder of the National Council of Nigeria and the Cameroons, was granted a pardon for a conviction by colonial authorities in 1913. The statement also confirmed that President Tinubu granted clemency to 82 inmates, reduced the prison terms of 65 others, and commuted the death sentence of 7 inmates to life imprisonment. The exercise was based on the recommendations of the Presidential Advisory Committee on the Prerogation of Mercy chaired by the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi. Moving on, residents of Kayauki and Marke villages in Batagarwa local government area of Katsina State have lamented the activities of a quarry and stone crushing company for damaging their houses and other structures which negatively affects their socio-economic well-being. The residents expressed worry over what they described as human rights violation for using dynamites and other explosives to blast stones without considering the plight of the host communities. Correspondent Shamsuddin Sani, who visited the affected communities, has more details on this report.
Just a few kilometers from Katsina City, the villages of Kayauki and Marke have lived with blast and tremors for more than 30 years. The constant explosions have taken a toll not just on buildings, but on the physical and mental health of the people. Cracks run through walls, rooftops have kept in, and many say they live in fear of the next blast. This is as a result of the activities of the quarry and stone crushing company operating in the area. For more than 3 decades, residents of Kayauki and Marke have been living in these trauma conditions, suffering in silence with no solutions to their predicament. Residents describe the ongoing blast and vibration as more than just a nuisance. They say their social well-being is under constant strain. Fear, health problems, loss of incomes.
Sakamakon da wannan buga nakiya da ake yi karai ya sa bangayen duk sun tsatsage.
One day, we felt a strong vibration, followed by a loud blast that collapsed our house. My child and I were injured and hospitalized. In the past, they used to announce the blasting time so we could prepare. But now, it happens without warning.
Lokacin da aka ce za a buga ta, za ka ji kasai ta yi grrrr, ta yi vibration kanin can ka ji karai.
Since the company's arrival, they took over our farmlands, promising to compensate us. But to this day, we have not been paid a single dime, even after destroying our only means of livelihood.
The dynamite explosions are not only damaging buildings, but also disturbing sleep and causing respiratory issues, especially among elders and children. Similarly, explosives often scatter stones that hit the residents, animals, and rooftops, causing both social and economic hardship. Cracks are also visible on houses, shops, and other structures across the villages. Hundreds of families say their businesses and farming activities around the quarry sites have collapsed as a result of the ongoing blast. Kayauki and Marke village have a population of over 10,000 residents living side by side with the quarry for decades. According to the residents, the company has abandoned them, and despite their repeatedly reports to the authorities, nothing has been done. This necessitated the residents to urge the Batagrawa local government and Katsina state authorities to urgently intervene and save them from the company that has inflicted lifelong hardship and trauma on their communities.
Sunana Mudassir Ibrahim Kayauki.
My name is Mudassir, chairman of the Amalgamated Unions in Kayauki village. The activities of the company have disrupted all our businesses. Today, our livelihoods have collapsed.
Ta dalilin nakiyar da ake yi kuma bangayen al'umma na tsagiya. Muna da matsaloli faduwar gine-ginenmu.
I am the representative of our village aid. We have been submitting complaints to the company, but up till now, nothing has been done. Many of our people are also falling sick from the dust generated by the quarry.
Mun tuntuɓi kamfani, amma sun zo mun fara bi duk inda gine-ginen ya ɗan shafa.
The quarry company is said to be supplying gravel and stone dust to multinational construction firms handling the Kano Kazauri Daura Katsina Maradi railway project. When contacted, officials of the company declined to speak, saying they did not have authority to comment on the matter until permission is obtained from their Kazaura office in Jigawa State. From Katsina, Shamsuddin Sani reporting for Third Eye Africa Television.
Talking security, the Kaduna State Police Command has arrested 26 suspected kidnappers in different operations across the state and recovered 4 fabricated firearms, several dangerous weapons, and part of a ransom allegedly paid to abductors. The arrest followed a series of coordinated raids by police operatives and local vigilance groups between October 3rd and 5th, 2025, targeting kidnap gangs operating in Anchau, Ikara, and Makarfi local government areas. A statement by the command spokesman, Mansir Hassan, said the operation, conducted in a collaboration with the Kaduna Vigilance Service, was part of ongoing efforts to rid the state of banditry and kidnapping. He said the first breakthrough came on October 5th when patrol teams from Anchau Division, acting on credible intelligence, stormed a suspected kidnappers' hideout and arrested 6 suspects, including one Jibril Abubakar. Hassan added that investigation revealed that the suspects had on September 22nd, 2025, conspired to kidnap one Idris Adamu, whom they held in captivity for several days before releasing him after collecting a ransom of 5 million naira. During the operation, 2 other suspects identified as Yunusa Ilya and Malam Ilya, both of Gidan City Village in Anchau district, were arrested after a brief gunfight with police officers. Still talking security, the Nigerian police force has confirmed the arrest of 12 suspects involved in the armed robbery incident that led to the death of Arise TV presenter Somto Maduago. The police revealed that shortly after the robbery incident, 4 of the suspects were apprehended through tracking of phones stolen from their apartment during the robbery. The police statement said, during interrogation, one of the suspects, Shamsuddin Hassan, confessed that he shot the security guard when he attempted to prevent him from gaining access to the apartments. Shamsuddin further confessed that he drove the white Honda CR-V Jeep out of the apartment after the operation. Recovered exhibits include 1 fabricated AK-47 rifle, 36 rounds of 9mm live ammunition, 1 locally made pistol and pump-action gun, 2 live cartridges, 4 mobile phones of the victims, and 2 sharp knives. The police said all suspects have confessed to the crimes while investigation is still ongoing. Over to Plateau State, 2 people have been killed by gunmen along the Barkin Ladi Dorowa Babuje Road in Plateau State. Reports say the victims were returning home after attending a security meeting called by the Sector 4 commander when they were ambushed and killed. The national president of Birom Youth Mothers Association, Solomon Daliop, confirmed the killings to newsmen in Jos. He said the gunmen attacked the youths without provocation. The incident comes amid heightened tensions in the area, with Daliop saying that armed groups carried out simultaneous attacks on 2 villages on the 6th of October, killing 1 person. Daliop confirmed that attackers often use allegations of cattle killings as a pretext for their actions. In another development, the Nigerian Senate is proposing to set up an ad hoc committee to visit the United States to engage with members of the U.S. Congress over reports accusing Nigeria of committing genocide against Christians. The Senate's President Godswill Akpabio disclosed this during Thursday's plenary during a debate on a motion on the matter. The motion was sponsored by Borno South's Senator Ali Ndume and co-sponsored by 20 other senators. Akpabio said the Senate would constitute a delegation to interface with the U.S. legislature, adding that the composition of the committee would be decided during a closed-door session. He stressed that terrorist activities were aimed at destabilizing the country and preventing citizens from famine, not targeting any particular faiths. The International Criminal Police Organization, Interpol, has confirmed the arrest of a wanted Nigerian identified as Ikechukwu by the Argentine authorities. Interpol, in an update on its X handle, disclosed that Ikechukwu had been on its wanted list for allegedly orchestrating multiple romance scams involving thousands of women. The suspect was also accused of leading an international cybercrime network. The police organization said Ikechukwu's arrest was part of a special operation begun in 2025 aimed at helping countries trace and recover criminal assets. Moving on, a lawmaker, Ibrahim Mohammed, has urged the federal government to strengthen security and infrastructure in rural communities across Kebbi State and other parts of the country battling insecurity. Mohammed is representing Birnin Kebbi, Kalgo, and Bunza federal constituency in the House of Representatives. Raising emotion in the House, Mohammed expressed grave concern over the escalating wave of banditry, kidnapping, and cattle rustling, which he stressed has crippled farming and social life in many parts of Kebbi State. The lawmaker noted that hundreds of farmers have abandoned their farmlands while schools and markets in rural areas remain deserted, citing a section of the 1999 Constitution which makes the security and welfare of citizens the primary responsibility of the government. Mohammed called for urgent action to protect lives and livelihoods. Still on Kebbi State, the state's Primary Health Care Development Agency has held its board meeting to review progress made in the delivery of primary health care services across the state. The meeting, which took place in Birnin Kebbi, brought together top management officials, board members, and key stakeholders in the health sector. Our correspondent, Hayatu Bala Nasarawa, has more on this report.
Speaking at the meeting, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Health, Dr. Abubakar Zaki, who also doubled as acting commissioner of the ministry, said the board meeting focused on evaluating the implementation of the state's primary health care under one roof policy, ongoing immunization campaigns, and strategies to strengthen maternal and child health service across rural communities.
So on this matter, it is an ongoing thing, and you can be rest assured within the next couple of days, something will be arrived at.
Dr. Abubakar Zaki added that the major priority remains to ensure every ward in Kebbi State has access to a functional primary health care center, well equipped and staffed to provide quality service to the people. Earlier in his welcome address, the Executive Secretary, Primary Health Care Development Agency, Alhaji Abubakar Muhammad Noma, highlighted achievements recorded in the past year, including improvement in routine immunization coverage, reduction in maternal mortality, and better coordination between local government health departments and the state agency.
With your commitments and your untiring efforts in the contribution you have contributed during the course of this meeting. We really appreciate everyone, and inshallah, all the issues that were discussed here, all the deliberation will be implemented.
He said they have made significant progress through collaboration with partners like UNICEF, National Primary Health Care Development Agency, World Health Organization, and other development partners, saying that their focus is to sustain the gains and close existing gaps. Also speaking, the board chairman Alhaji Harun Abdullahi Ambursa said the 309 health workers that were absorbed by the state government after the expiration of Gabi project in the state will soon be paid their salaries as all necessary arrangements have been concluded, calling on them to exercise a little patience.
Beg to ensure that really we have drastically reduced the level of non-compliant cases that have been reported, especially from Birnin Kebbi, Jiga, and Gwandu. Among the areas where high cases of non-compliance have been reported.
There were contributions and suggestions from members of the board on the way forward. The board also deliberated on budget performance, staff welfare, and plans for the 2026 operational year, with emphasis on digital data collection and community engagement. I am Hayatu Bala Nasarawa, reporting for South Eye Africa from Birnin Kebbi.
Stay tuned with us. We'll be right back after this break with more updates in the business world. Welcome back. You're still watching TED-Eye Africa Television. The House of Representatives Ad Hoc Committee on Illegal Mining has vowed decisive action to curb Nigeria's annual loss of approximately $9 million to illicit mining activities. Chairman of the committee, Sani Abdulrahman, described illegal mining as a major threat to national development, citing its role in the undermining government revenue, fueling insecurity and causing severe environmental damage. He said the committee has been tasked with blocking revenue leakages, enforcing transparency, and ensuring that Nigeria's vast mineral resources are fully harnessed for economic growth. Abdulrahim emphasized the committee's commitment to strengthening oversight and improving revenue tracking systems to ensure that proceeds from the mining sector are directed into government coffers. He also highlighted the broader consequences of illegal mining, including its link to criminal activities and environmental degradation. Reaffirming the House of Representatives resolve, Abdulrahim noted that the committee would fully exercise its constitutional mandate to investigate exposed corruption and propose solutions aimed at restoring order to the sector. In another development, the Bank of Industry (BOI) has launched a 2 billion naira entrepreneurship program aimed at providing affordable loans to serving members of the National Youth Service Corps (NYSC). This is a bid to combat youth unemployment and encourage self-reliance through enterprise development. The initiative will offer corps members access to loans of up to 5 million naira each at a single-digit interest rate of 9% per annum. The loans are repayable over 3 years and include a 3-month moratorium on both principal and interest payments. At the launch event in Abuja, Shekarau Omar, Executive Director for Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises at BOI, described the scheme as a practical intervention to transition Nigerian youths from job seekers to job creators. Omar, who represented BOI's Managing Director, Dr. Olasupo Olusi, noted that the program builds on past collaborations with the NYSC, including the Graduate Entrepreneurship Fund introduced in 2015. The GEF trained over 3,000 graduates, financed 609 businesses, and disbursed over 1 million naira in loans. He also praised the NYSC Skill Acquisition and Entrepreneurship Development SAID program for equipping COP members with entrepreneurship skill and emphasized that the new loan scheme would complement SAID's goal. The immediate past president of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, Professor Emmanuel Osodeke, has raised concern that over 600 billion naira in unutilized tertiary education trust fund allocations belonging to beneficiary institutions remain ideal in the Central Bank of Nigeria. Professor Osodeke stated this at the 2025 TET Fund Board of Trustees National Town Hall meeting in Abuja, where he urged the federal government to sanction heads of institutions who failed to deploy allocated intervention funds. He stressed that such negligence undermines TET Fund's mandates to improve teaching, learning, and research infrastructure across universities, polytechnics, and colleges of education. Osodeke also expressed concern about the newly introduced development levy in Nigeria's Tax Act, warning that it would reduce TET Fund's revenue inflow from 3% to 2%. The new 4% development levy on accessible profits is set to replace multiple sectoral tax such as the tertiary education tax, Naseni levy, IT levy, and police trust fund levy, and will take effect on January 1st, 2026. Moving on to regional matters. At least 13 people have been killed after an attack on one of the last remaining hospitals in El Fasher, a Sudanese city trapped under siege. 16 others, including a doctor and nurse, were injured after the paramilitary rapid support forces shelled Saudi hospitals several times. A group of Sudanese medics has called the attack a war crime. The RSF has been besieging El Fasher for more than 17 months, leaving hundreds of thousands of people stuck in the city facing starvation. The paramilitary group is fighting the army for full control of El Fasher, the last military stronghold in the vast Darfur region. This is the second strike on the Saudi hospital this year. The first was in January, which killed 3 children and injured 3 others. Also, A significant breakthrough in Egypt has raised hopes of ending the 2-year war in Gaza, which has claimed over 67,000 lives and triggered a devastating humanitarian crisis. US President Donald Trump announced that Israel and Hamas have agreed to the first phase of a peace plan, which includes the pause in fighting and the release of hostages and prisoners. The impact of the news is also being felt in Gaza, where famine continues and much of the population has endured relentless bombardments. Israel's cabinet is expected to vote on the agreement soon. Key issues remain unresolved, including whether Hamas will disarm and who will govern Gaza post-conflict. Under the current deal, Hamas will release all 20 living hostages in the coming days. In return, the Israeli military will withdraw from most of Gaza, marking the most concrete step towards the de-escalation since the war began. President Bola Tinubu appoints Professor Joash Ojo Amupitan as new chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission. 155 persons, including late Major General Maman Vasa, granted presidential pardon and clemency. Kaduna State Police Command arrests 26 suspected kidnappers. Israel and Hamas agree to first phase of peace deal. And that's it on this bulletin at Third Eye Africa Television. Remember to stay informed and stay connected. I am Ikenem Chuku Ojuyenem. Good afternoon.